It's up for grabs now!
Magic ball from Bergkamp to Patrick Vieira!
Oh, would you believe it? Oh, right, what a way to get it!
Fabulous solo goal by pierre-emerick.
Good evening and welcome back to the Arsenal Lounge. It's starting to get busier. We're starting to get a little bit more excited and have more questions. So these shows are going to start ramping up. So with the transfer window in mind and what we had Fabrizio on, this is someone we always love having on, and we thought we'd give him a break so we can focus on his journalism studies. But today we have back Edu. Edu, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been here, and I truly did miss you all. I mean, you, the people that follow the channel regularly, and everybody, to be honest. I mean, I missed this transfer season, and it's upcoming right now, January, and we could be looking at something very big, as Fabrizio said the other day.
Oh, well, let's see. Let's find out. And before we crack on with everything, here is my fellow Arsenal Lounge host. He's feeling a bit sensitive today. He's caught a bit of man flu, so show him some loving out there. Shaheen with his lemsip. How you doing?
How are you? I'm good, man. You good?
I can't believe you just had a lemsip, just as I'm saying that as well. Just to milk it.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Right. So listen, we obviously we had the show a couple of days ago with Fabrizio on. He gave us some interesting insight into maybe what not to expect more than what to expect. So what we thought today is we'd run through, obviously, some of the troubles that we got coming up with regards to AFCON. We're a bit light in midfield. We've got xhaka injured. And based on the press conference today, we might be lucky to have him back before the start of the new year. So I just wanted to get straight into it. So, Edu, I'm sure you caught some of the show the other day with Fabrizio. Firstly, I'd like to get into your sort of mindset and establish where do you think we're light at the moment, and where do you see us potentially looking in the January window, if at all?
I mean, where are we light? I think there's two positions that are key that we need to address. I don't think the right word is address. I think the right word's improve on. And I think that's the striker department, because sadly, Oba and Lacazette are not being good enough this season, and they haven't been good enough the past season either. So looking forward, I think we have to make a big signing there. Doesn't matter if it's January or the summer. And the other one has to be midfield. I mean, you need a partner for Partey, because Lokonga, as talented as he is, he hasn't been that great. I mean, he's just a kid. You can't give him all the responsibility. Maitland-Niles as well. I don't think he's ever been top quality midfielder that we need, to be honest. And now xhaka out as well. So I think that's the position you're going to have to look for if the situation doesn't improve. Because look, xhaka out for 3 months. It could be Partey next time, and then we're going to be light again. So yeah, and in terms of goals, we have 13 goals in 12 games. So that's unacceptable for a club like Arsenal.
Shaheen. No, go on, Edu, go on.
Even though we're fifth, we have a negative goal difference, so that's not good.
Now, I'd like to get you guys to explain to me what you think the problem is. I mean, let's be honest here, right? It's not like we have the worst strike force in the Premier League. I mean, a lot of teams would bite our hands off for Lacazette, Aubameyang, and then you got the likes of Saka and Smith Rowe in there, and you still got Pepe, who's not really firing on all cylinders. Is it a striker issue, or is it deeper than that the team's not playing as a team, and maybe the midfield's not connecting with the strike force? So, Shaheen, I'll come to you with this first. Do you think it's an actual issue with regards to the fact that we need another striker that, because really and truthfully, is another striker going to make a difference the way we're playing at the moment?
Well, let me just, I just want to bring up the Premier League table. You say, Lev, that is if you say strike force, right? And I'm gonna read the top 8 teams for you, okay? And you tell me which one do you think will take Lacazette and Aubameyang?
Okay.
Because I don't think many of
No,
them.
that's a good shout. Go on, go for
Chelsea.
it. No.
Edu?
No, absolutely not.
Right, Man City.
No.
Oh, hold on. Let's not so fast, because I know it's Man City, but who have they got up front?
Gabriel Jesus.
And what, is he better than Aubameyang?
I mean, no, but
Would Man City swap Aubameyang for Jesus?
No, they wouldn't.
No, because
wouldn't.
their system doesn't allow a center forward, so they need
No,
somebody
but
like Gabriel Jesus.
They wouldn't swap
Hold on.
Jesus with Gabriel.
You don't think they
sorry,
would?
Aubameyang.
Let us
They
know
won't.
in the chat. Let us know in the chat.
Aubameyang's not. He's not Man City type of player. I mean, he can't combine like Pep would like. So I don't think so. I doubt it. That's why they wanted Kane.
I'll carry on the list, right? Liverpool,
No.
West Ham.
Oh, hold on. Who have West Ham got? Antonio. What happens if Antonio gets injured tomorrow?
They've got a couple of
Who?
them. I don't know their
Hold on. Barring this season and some of last season, would Antonio have been on your radar to pick up as a striker for Arsenal?
No.
I remember he was linked with Arsenal about a couple of seasons ago, and we all said, "Nah, he's this, he's that." But
West Ham would take Aubameyang off us all day.
I don't think they will.
I do think so. But that doesn't mean that should be the bar.
So you're telling me West Ham?
No, agree on that.
You're telling me West Ham will come in and take a 32-year-old who's on £250,000 a week?
No. I don't mean that they would buy him in real life. I think he would get into that team. That's what I try to say.
No, but I don't know, man. I think David Moyes, even if he's got Aubameyang, I think he will stick with Antonio because of the way they play.
Yeah.
Because remember, Aubameyang, if you don't play through balls for him, right?
He doesn't offer much.
He does fuck nothing. He doesn't give you nothing. Yeah. Antonio, he gives you physicality. He's good with corners. He will hold up the ball. He will bring others in. So that's that, right? So that's West Ham. Obviously, we're fifth. Wolves.
I mean, Jimenez is good.
No, come on, they will take Aubameyang all day long. They will probably take Aubameyang and Lacazette.
I think Wolves, if anything, they might take Lacazette. I don't think they'll take Aubameyang.
All right, okay. Carry on
Tottenham?
then. We're going to do next. Barnsley?
No, Tottenham. Tottenham, no. They have Kane.
They have Kane, Son.
All right, yeah.
And then the 8th one is Man United.
Nah, they have Ronaldo.
They have Cavani, Ronaldo, Rashford, Greenwood.
Right, okay. I didn't say anywhere in this conversation.
Oh, is it now?
Wait. I didn't say in the Premier League.
It's an interesting point, Lev, that you make.
No,
but
it is massive. It's interesting.
Apart from Wolves, right? And we are a bit unsure that you wouldn't. Any of the top 8 teams will take Aubameyang or Lacazette. So that tells you there is a problem there, and it needs to be addressed. Listen, Lacazette from January will start negotiating with clubs, and he will walk away for free. So that's another £40 million that Arsenal have binned, right? And the guy is going to leave for free. And he will definitely leave for free, because if there was going to be a contract, it would have been done by now. Lacazette will make a lot of money, right? And this is probably his last big contract in his career, right?
Yeah.
And he will go. Aubameyang, for me, Aubameyang is turning into another Ozil situation. And what I mean by that is you've got a player who's overaged, right? Overpaid. He's got another 2 years, £250,000 a week. And we're not really, I hear this argument that we're not playing to his strength. We're not playing the system. But against Liverpool, what did he do as a captain? Or is it as a centre forward player? Yes, the ball is not getting to him, but what do you do?
Well, wait. I asked the original question, though, which hasn't been answered here, guys, right? The original question is it a strike force issue, or is it a team and a system overall issue in the sense of the midfield are not connecting with the strikers?
I think it's both.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's both as well, because you've got strike force that is not matching the system that you want to play. And then you've got players who are not feeding those strikers. Remember, one of the reasons we've gone on a bit of a decent run is that we've brought in Alexander Lacazette behind Aubameyang, right? So what Lacazette does is he offers a bit of physicality. He holds the ball up, which nobody else does, right? And he plays with Aubameyang. So then Aubameyang looks a little bit better, right? And we had to sacrifice Pepe for that and Odegaard. But we're playing better. So we don't have a midfield that is going to play through balls for Aubameyang or Lacazette. And we don't really have a strike force that will create chances for themselves.
That's the problem, yeah. And I think when
Aubameyang is not the type of striker that will create chances for himself. Lacazette does, but Aubameyang doesn't.
Well, this is right, and someone's rightly put in here. Rob has put in here, George, which is a valid point. The Watford game, Aubameyang could have had a hat trick, right? We agree. We agree with that.
You know what I think is that if Aubameyang's not scoring consistently, he doesn't offer anything, and that's the problem to me. Because, like I said, although he hasn't scored much this season, you can see what he offers to the team. Aubameyang doesn't really give anything. Does he hold up the ball? No. Does he link up? Does he put a ball through? No.
I think this is a bigger problem that many people may think. Because if Lacazette had some value in him, you would say, right, okay, we can sell Lacazette. Maybe get, 15, 20 million pounds for him. And then we can invest that. We'll top it up and, we get a striker in. So he doesn't have any value in him and he's going to walk away for free. Aubameyang has no value in him either. Who's going to come in for a 32-year-old who's lost his pace, right?
Has he, though?
Yes, he has. He's 32, man. He has lost his pace.
He's still fast. He's still fast, but he's not
fast enough.
But he's lost a yard of pace. I've seen him against defenders.
Listen, I'm not saying he's lost. Yes, he's quick, but not the player that we purchased and we hoped that he would be. Right?
Or the player that we saw the first season. Pace. The first season, Aubameyang came in and he was firing on all cylinders and he was amazing. But you have to understand that there's declines.
Edu, is it not a coincidence that the first season he came in and he was flying? We had someone like Ozil who was supplying him with balls.
Exactly, but I think when he lost a yard of pace, he still lost that edge that he used to have to overrun the defender. Yeah, so he doesn't overlap like he used to do.
I think he's lost his edge not because he's lost his pace. I think he lost his edge when we started messing around playing him out wide. That's why I think he's lost his edge. You keep playing him out wide.
He used to do that in Dortmund as well, man.
I personally think both strikers we have are flawed in one way or the other, and I think they're not good enough if we want to make a charge for top four.
Okay, so
that's the assessment that I try to give.
So there seems to be a trend, right? There's a trend on these forwards.
If I'm not mistaken, and Aubameyang has scored 4 or 5 goals this season. Something like this. I read this somewhere. That
I've got a bet with you. Over 15 he needs to score.
Yeah, but we're almost halfway through the season. Almost, right? And Aubameyang, not only he's scored a very, very poor amount of goals, but his contribution in games as a centre forward and more importantly as captain is questionable.
But isn't it relevant that we are creating the least chances or up there with the least chances in the Premier League right now?
No,
come on.
I think that goes as well to the striker, because the striker doesn't only have to tap the ball in. You see Kane, he produces assists for Son, and strikers can easily have another type of impact, another tapping the ball in, as I try to say. So I think the fact that we are accustomed to having a striker that doesn't offer anything but the goal scoring has affected us. Put Van Persie in this team. We would be much better.
Don't talk to me
Van
about
Persie,
that,
Sanchez, Henry,
exactly.
Bergkamp, because these players,
they
create chances for themselves as well. They'll do some. Aubameyang will never hold the ball up for you. Like at some point against Liverpool, I almost felt sorry for him because he was up there against Van Dijk and Matip, and they just annihilated him. There was nothing he could do. He couldn't challenge them physically. Mikel Antonio West Ham, he challenged both of them physically, right? He was not receiving the service that he wanted in terms of through balls, except once that Emil Smith Rowe played him through. He's not. Another thing which I don't understand about Arsenal is that Aubameyang is not Olivier Giroud. He's not going to get his head on the ball and he's not going to head the ball in, right? And we keep crossing the ball in. So
that's a key point.
So then you think, well, hold on, then why are we playing? I would
listen.
have rather played Lacazette. Lacazette would have offered Van Dijk and Matip more physicality than Aubameyang.
But I still believe, personally, you guys don't agree with me, but this is why we love the game. I believe if you play Aubameyang up top with someone like City, yeah, I don't think he needs to play like a 9 that has to lead the line because they keep the ball so much. They've got so much ball retention. They'll create loads of chances for him. He'll get 20+ goals a season.
No, I agree.
You really think?
I agree, but we're not City. That's the thing.
You really think Guardiola will have Aubameyang?
I personally think he would take him for a season or two. 100%. If he had him this season, they would have got goals. I'm telling you. Oh, how great! Kane's been useless for Spurs this season.
No chance that Guardiola will take Aubameyang. No chance.
All right. Well, look. So moving on from the conversation, yeah. Moving forward, should I say? Okay. So we're not going to have Aubameyang AFCON. We're going to find out very soon. Okay. We're going to have Lacazette as our main number 9 up top, probably playing.
No, you know what? You say this, but I don't think Aubameyang will be away for long. Because Gabon is not really like a heavy hitter in the African Cup of Nations.
He'll be gone for a couple of weeks.
We might miss him for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but that's a key part. It's a key part of the season, man.
Although there's an international break. There's an international break in January. So
there's an international break in January. When do they go? When do they go to AFCON? Let's have a look.
In Jan.
They go, I think, 2nd of Jan or 1st of Jan.
And how long's the international break? When is it?
No. The international break's usually like a week, and you're gonna have a 2-week break. So AFCON's like a month, so he could miss like one game.
Okay.
How far do you think Gabon is gonna go in African Cup?
All right. What about Thomas Partey? He's going to be out.
Yeah, that's a big issue because you're gonna have Xhaka and then Lokonga and Niles, and that's poor in my opinion.
And I'll tell you something. We will do well if Thomas Partey comes back fit.
Well, even when they come back from these tournaments, they take a week or two, don't they? They have off.
And look, this is an exclusive before the transfer window opens.
Jesus, Edu, you can't just throw an exclusive in. What you got for us?
I mean, I don't think it's that important, but Elneny seems to be destined to go to Galatasaray in January.
Really?
Yes.
So then that's another one that we're going to lose in January.
Exactly. Although
we're going to be left with Lokonga, Maitland-Niles, and half-wit Granit Xhaka.
This is what I wanted to do. We'll go through all the ones that are going or not going to be here, and then we'll start to look at our options, because it started to concern me because we were on a good run. Yes, we are 5th, but it could all go wrong with a couple of losses in this league.
Absolutely.
The way it is, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
So you reckon Elneny's off to Galatasaray in January?
Yes.
Do you think they'll let him go, considering how light we're going to be in midfield?
Exactly. His contract's up in June, and he hasn't played this season much. I mean, he came in against Liverpool, but apart from that, Arteta's trusting Maitland-Niles over Elneny, so he's like 5th choice now. Okay, so it looks like Partey's going to be gone. Well, Elneny would have been gone for AFCON as well, wouldn't it? Exactly.
Right, so he would have been gone. Right, we've got Aubameyang going. We've got Pepe going. As well, so so what moving forward, what are our options going to be? So look at it from the front first. We'll look at our striker situation. Firstly, do you think we're going to address it? Because having Fabrizio on the other day, he made very, very valid points. We're going to struggle because a lot of these top strikers these are the names we've been linked with. So the latest one is Adeyemi from RB Salzburg, but he's young. I don't know if we would have him to replace someone like Aubameyang straight away. So Adeyemi, he said it's going to be very difficult for us to get him. PSG, Liverpool, they're all looking at him. And Nesri from Sevilla, but I think he's going as well somewhere. I've heard there's rumours. Vlahovic is meant to be our number 1 target, but as Fabrizio said, it's going to be very, very difficult for us.
Is that the guy whose agents are not even answering Arsenal? Is that him?
Yeah, basically.
I have some reservations about that.
Okay, so what? You don't agree with Fabrizio?
Not that I don't agree, but like, why would an agent not pick up the call from any club? I mean, his clients trying to find better offers and things like that. At least, out of respect, you have to answer the call and to see what they offer you. So,
he was suggesting that they feel that a deal's already been done with a big club. and that's why.
Yes, that, and also they were saying that because Arsenal have no European games, no European football, and I can see from there. Look, if you look at from the player's point of view, why would he come to Arsenal?
However, the season's not finished. We are 5th. We can still finish in European
No, but
places.
we're talking about January.
Not exactly, but what club's gonna sign him in January apart from City, who need a striker? Nobody.
Exactly.
Atletico got Mateus Cunha. They have their striker, and he hasn't even played a game.
I don't know, man. If I just look at it from the player's point of view, right? He might be thinking, no Champions League football, no European football at all. The manager is still got question marks over him. Do I really want to go? Is this a good career move? Whereas maybe he's got an offer from another team who's got Europa League football or Champions League football, and they might be thinking that is going to benefit me more to go there than Arsenal.
I would understand Juventus to a certain extent, because Juventus this season have been horrible. They're out of Champions League places and they're getting battered left, right, and center. So I don't know.
Well, that's the favourite apparently.
Exactly.
That has apparently done a deal with him on already. So these the other names that were mentioned was Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Yanis Stoica as well. So
the only one that that makes sense from my point of view is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I'll tell you why. Because Premier League proven, there is no settle-in period that you would have for a player that is going to come in. He knows Premier League. He knows what is it like to go to different ground. Homegrown English player. So yes, it might cost a bit of money, but for me, I'll go for him, because the rest of them, you never know. You don't know if they're gonna come here and they'll be able to perform in Premier League. And Arsenal, we can't really afford to bring somebody like Odegaard again that is not performing.
My clear choice is Vlahovic. I mean, I think we have to do everything we can. I mean, he's the second top scorer in Europe's top 5 leagues this year. So only 21 as well. Contracts expiring next season. For me, I've seen him play a lot after that link came out that the guy from Urbano Cairo came to London to see our board and try to find a deal there. I mean, he's incredible. I think his upside is 10 times better than Calvert-Lewin.
What I said is assuming what Fabrizio said is correct. That
exactly. No, I understand, but I think we have good relationships with Fiorentina. They have Torreira. They need to exercise a buy option. We could do a deal there. So I think if I'm Arsenal,
Edu, can I ask you something? Do you follow Arsenal players who are on loan?
A bit. I follow Bellerin, Saliba.
How's Bellerin and Torreira doing on loan?
Torreira has been doing great. He started, and reports lately have said that they're going to keep him. They're going to put their options.
I always liked Lucas Torreira, man. It was a shame it didn't work out for him at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And I just think right now, especially,
he could have been
he would do a job.
He could, yeah. I mean, in terms of numbers and experience, I think he could have been a good option to have. But he's at Fiorentina right now, and Bellerin has been doing okay. I mean, he got sent off last game, and today he provided 2 assists, so he's been doing okay. So I assume that they're gonna buy him permanently.
So look, we're talking about all this stuff, and Shaheen's moved it to midfield again very quickly with Tahira. That's all right. But all right, so we've heard the names that have been mentioned. Who are realistic targets for us? Because it's going to be January. You're not going to get Vlahovic. You're not going to get any of these guys. Do you expect someone to come in, or do you think we're just going to try and handle it with Lacazette?
I don't think. I mean, it could be something with his agents, but like Fiorentina want to sell Vlahovic in January because there's going to be the point they're going to get the most for him because he doesn't want to renew. So if there's a deal to be done, it's Vlahovic.
It's, as you know, anything in football is possible.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
If he doesn't have an agreement with another club, right? Anything in football is possible as long as you pay the right money. But
exactly.
What I don't think we're going to get a striker in January. I think if anything, we'll get a midfielder, because what we're forgetting is, whether we like it or not, we still have Eddie Nketiah. So Arteta may look at this and he might think, right, for a month I can get away with maybe Lacazette and Nketiah, right? And and then we'll go again. Because Nketiah as well, it's just like what Edu said. If Arsenal going to sell Nketiah, it's January.
Why Nketiah over Balogun, may I ask?
That's a good question, but I mean, Nketiah is going to be in the last 6 months of his contract. If you don't sell him for $1 million or $2 million, you're not going to get anything for him. So
I just think Nketiah has got a few Premier League games. That's it. Balogun, he doesn't have any Premier League experience. And when he did come in, I know there was a bad team. I know, but he didn't really cover himself in glory either. And I just
Martinelli hasn't had a chance either. So.
Martinelli as well. We forgot about Martinelli.
So what do you think they're doing in regards to the striker situation now, right this second? Then, do you think they made any plans, or do you think they just thought we're going to get through it with, we're just going to get through it, see how it goes?
I mean, for me, I think they're going to wait to see how the Vlahovic situation unfolds, and then if they can't get him in, who's the top target, I think they're going to wait until the summer to get another big name, and we're going to have to wait. But
so basically, you guys think we're not going to get anyone in for the striker situation?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, if it's not Vlahovic, it's nobody, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. I think that they need. Listen, maybe they'll look at it and they'll think, right, between Lacazette, Martinelli, and Nketiah, right, we can get away with January. Remember, we don't have any European football, so it's just 4 games. Out of these 4 games, 4 or 5 games, right? Out of these 4 or 5 games, couple of weeks is international break. So we're not talking about a great number of games, and they might look at it between these 3. We might be able to, get away with it, and then Aubameyang will be back, and then we address it in January. But what they will not be able to cruise through and get away with is the midfield, and that is the only place where I think they may address.
Okay, all right.
For me, I think you either address the center forward spot or you address the midfield, but we cannot go without buying somebody for those 2 positions in Jan. One or the other, it's okay, but you have to address at least one.
Well, I think the most likely is going to be midfield, right? The question is, what we going to be doing? We're going to buy now. The name that keeps cropping up the most, and for me, the most realistic option is Renato Sanchez. Right? And the reason I say that, wait. I'm not saying he's the right man. If he stays fit, he's good enough.
That is a big if, man.
Look at this. Well, this is what I was doing. I went on Transfermarkt to see his injury record, and it's scary. From 2017-18, he's had thigh problems. He's had hamstring injuries, all in the same year. Hamstring injury again, then an ankle problem, then another hamstring. He's got a hamstring issue here. Hamstring confusion, hamstring injury, another muscle. Most of these problems seem to be muscle injury.
Yeah, soft tissue.
Soft tissue. And that isn't good. So on one part, he's the most likely because he's at Lille. He's extremely gettable. His form is apparently very good, but he was injured last week, I think.
The thing is, when
number 2, man.
The thing is, when he plays, he's amazing. But if he can't play, it's no good. You're going to have another situation where we're going to be light in midfield if he's in the nursing room.
Well, here's another question as well. While we're on the subject, sorry to throw this in as well, but what type of midfielder do you think we need? Personally, myself, I still believe we need 2. Yeah, but what type of midfielder do you think they're going to go for? You think they're going to go for another Partey type, a Basuma type, or do you think they're going to want a Hwassim Ouar type, or someone like a Cazorla type in the way he plays, or Renato Sanchez, who's obviously slightly smaller but he's more mobile? What do you think we're going to go for?
I think that depends on summer transfer window, because if you go by this idea that Arteta is trying to rebuild the team, right? Then you need to look at what system and what style of play he's trying to play. And then according to that, we can go buy a midfield player. So you need to then look at what type of a striker are they looking at to sign in January or summer. And if you're going to go by, for argument's sake, right? Let's say a prime Aubameyang, okay? Or this Vlahovic guy. let's say if you go and buy him, right, then you need to have a creative midfielder to be able to give these guys the ball. Now, if that's the way you want to go, then you keep Thomas Partey where he is, right? And then you go and buy a proper number 8 like a Santi Cazorla that will keep the ball, flowing. And then maybe you bring Emil Smith-Rowe at number 10, and then you buy a left winger that will play on the left wing side. That's what I think. But I think that's the way they want to go. Because if we've seen anything from Arteta is that he likes to play football, he likes to pass around, and he likes to build up play when they can. So I think a Santi Cazorla type of play is exactly what we need, because right now the transition from defense to the strikers is poor, non-existent.
It's funny how we all see it though, because I'm looking in the chats. Some are saying Henry Chuang is saying Basuma. Rob is saying, Dante is saying Calvin Phillips, another sort of DM there, sort of a DM type midfielder. Then others are saying we need creative. Hwasi Moa, some are even saying Patino. I mean, look, again, it's one of them. Have we got enough defensively to go and just... And again, the other question is, you're talking about creative. Isn't that what we got Odegaard for, Edu?
Exactly. I think the midfielder that we need to get this January is Frank Kessie from Milan.
Oh, he's in here as well. Yeah, someone's mentioned
contract ends in June. So if you put 10 million pounds or 50 million pounds, Milan are going to be forced to accept. So yeah, for me, he's the one that could be the missing piece, because he's very similar to Partey and they cover a lot of ground. So I would be more than happy if that happened, and I think we should go that way. Very similar to Calvin Phillips, who they just mentioned.
So you would go for that type of midfielder rather than another creative midfielder?
I would go for a player that can do both, which is Frank Kessie right there. I think he can create, he can be proactive, he can drive forward with the ball, and he can also help Partey at the back.
Is Kessie even on our radar?
I mean, you never know. He should be, absolutely, with 6 months left on his contract. I mean, you have to take into consideration that he's a top player living on a free. Most teams are going to be onto him. I mean, PSG are seeing him. There's talk of Barcelona. There's talk of big clubs. So I think we should as well. Tottenham, not big, but,
See, look, this is what I'm saying. Shaheen is saying we'll go for a creative midfielder. You're saying go for another Partey type midfielder. And I would probably tend to agree with you more on this, Edu, because personally, I think we have got quite a few creative players going forward. I just don't think we're unlocking them enough because they're not getting enough of the ball. They're not getting enough opportunity. Don't tell me Emil Smith-Rowe in a 10. There's very few that are as talented as him. Odegaard, I don't think we're going to get the best out of him unless you've got a solid, strong midfield behind him that's constantly winning the ball and giving it to him. So I don't see what we would benefit from going and getting a Hwasi Moa type midfielder when we're still going to have the same ball retention issues as we have at the moment. I mean, they've even spoke about Ceballos. Oh, even in the press conference today, I don't want to even go here with this, but in the press conference today, Arteta was asked about Wilshere. Right? Apparently, in training, Wilshere and Ben White are the best two players in training. That's what I'm hearing, right? Jack Wilshere apparently is making great strides. A journalist goes and asks him, is there any chance of a dream comeback? He didn't answer the question. So do not be surprised if Arsenal do another quick fix and hope they get a month or two out of Jack Wilshere.
I would not be surprised at all.
I mean, I think we have to move forward, and I don't think we should go back to that. We need to think proactively and think towards the future. I mean, as much love as we have for Jack, I think that's something that shouldn't happen.
Well, listen, if he was a fit, he would fit into that team anywhere. He'd probably be our best midfielder still. I'm not even going to lie. But you're right. We should be looking to move forward. But watch this space. I would not be surprised. They might even, Edu, go, we'll go and get another Partey type midfielder, but we've got Jack Wilshere we could have in as a ball carrier. They might even do that. Some are saying Guimaraes The Gomes' name is coming up quite often. To say Phillips is like playing FIFA, he's now probably worth about 90 million after the World Cup. So I think he's not even worth mentioning that. But I mean, any other names we could be looking at in midfield?
Well, Guimaraes, I mean, there aren't many options out there that you can get in January, and it's not the same as the summer. Like, everybody's available. But I personally think it's Kessie, but
well, we have.
I can't think of a name right now that
we're struggling for midfielders in January because they're going away and it's going to be a problem, this and that. But we've got two midfielders who are performing really well out on loan, Guendouzi and Torreira, which.
Guendouzi is staying at Marseille, though. I mean, that's an obligation to buy.
Yeah, they've got obligation to buy. But
listen, he can stay there as long as Saliba comes back. I don't care.
No, I'm just saying we've got them who we've just let out on loan, and now we scratching our heads for midfielders. I don't know what it was. There are people saying Torreira wasn't settled in London and they didn't like it, this, that, the other. But I just think maybe we missed the trick with loaning out Lucas Torreira. I don't know,
Well, we missed the trick loaning out Saliba as well. All right, so look, the truth of the matter is we don't have a clue what's going to happen, do we? We've had Fabrizio on. We speaking to Edu, who studies this stuff a lot, and we haven't got a clue. And it would be nice maybe if the team actually communicated with the fans a little bit and said something like, look, don't worry, we got this. We know we've got a tough time coming up, but we were all clueless at the moment as to what's going on. We've had a bad setback. We've got the Newcastle game coming up. I think is it Eddie Howe's first proper game in charge?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's his first proper game in charge
now.
Yeah,
he is.
He's Newcastle have got a very similar record to what we had at Anfield,
isn't he?
What?
I think he's back.
He's self-isolating. Is it finished?
I'm hearing he's back.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, their record is poor at the Emirates, so I'm expecting a win. But the question, I guess, well, these are the questions I saw come up in the press conference again about our response, our reaction since the defeat to Liverpool. He suggested that in the dressing room itself, he saw signs that it really hurt us. And we were fuming, and a lot of players stood up and accepted wrongdoings. Didn't really sort of perform. He expects to see a reaction against Newcastle at the Emirates. I'm expecting it. Let's be honest, Newcastle are not playing very well at the moment, and there's every chance that the new owner, who's the richest man in the Premier League, could have his team in the Championship next year, which will be quite interesting. But look. Let's talk about the Newcastle game coming up and what you guys are expecting. Edu, I mean, what are you expecting to see, and what changes do you think, if any, he's going to make based on the performances against Liverpool at Anfield?
I don't think he should make many changes because, I mean, the team has been doing well before Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool are a different beast. We all know that. We all went in knowing that it wasn't going to be pretty. I think I expected us to compete a bit more, but I think going into Newcastle, I think you're going to have to expect at least a 2-0, 3-0 win because Newcastle are in relegation spots right now. I mean, if you expect less than that, scraping a 1-0 win, I think that's not great expectations if you're aspiring for top 4, top 6.
True. Shaheen, what do you expect to see?
I expect an Arsenal win.
Okay.
You're playing against a team that is bottom of the table, out of form, poor players. If they come to Arsenal on Saturday and they get a result, it's going to reflect very badly on Arteta and the players. Because if you want to compete at a high level in the Premier League, or if you want to finish in top 4, or if you want to compete for top 4 or even top 6, Newcastle at home there's no discussion about this. You have to win this. That's 3 points. Yeah. So, and then I think we've got Man United middle of next week. So that's going to be our first midweek game. So back 3 days later, we're playing Man United away, which apparently it may be Man United. They may have a new manager by the time.
Well, they've done a deal with Ragnick. They've done a deal with Ragnick, haven't they? Interim manager.
That may be a tricky one. But if we get 4 points out of the next 2 games, I'll accept that.
Really? Okay. Well, look, this is
mean,
why
for me it depends. For me, it depends. I mean, if you go to Man United and win, okay, but like you can't lose this Saturday. I mean, come on, it's Newcastle at home.
I think a win against Newcastle and a draw away at Man United is acceptable.
Yeah. I think we should expect 6. But
only Arsenal could watch Man United getting spanked by everyone with Oli in charge,
exactly.
and then the week before we're playing them, we face a totally different manager. Only Arsenal. Arsenal could Newcastle be playing poor, and Arsenal make Newcastle look great.
I'm going to tell you one more thing as well, which says the state of the club, basically where we are and the confidence that we have. Would you be surprised if Arsenal lose to Newcastle and then they go beat Man United?
No, I think that could happen easily. Yeah. The thing is that United, they're playing Chelsea and they could get spanked. So
they could be looking for a bounce back as well.
Exactly, but we can easily play them in one of the worst states in their last few years.
So. Maguire is suspended, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It wasn't a straight red.
Was it not?
Oh, yeah, no, it was a second. Listen, it's probably better. It's probably better that he's playing.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Well, I don't rate him at all, man.
All right, let's not go on to Man United yet because we haven't had Newcastle. Yeah, so I want to talk about the differences in the team in the sense of based on the last performance, what you guys would do. Because I'll tell you straight, based on what happened, I would take out Tavares because look, he's been fair to him. And do you know what? In his defense, Tavares he's most of the games he's played well. He's a young lad. He's had a big game against one of the world's best teams. He struggled a little bit. So maybe just take him out of the limelight a little bit. Give Tierney his chance to win back the mantle. Yeah. And the tough one for me is the midfield because Partey and Lokonga both didn't perform. But he's got to start both those 2 guys, surely.
No, so I'll bring in Maitland-Niles for this. I'll drop Lokonga.
You would drop Lokonga for Maitland-Niles?
Yeah, I'll bring Maitland-Niles. Remember, Maitland-Niles against Watford was man of the match. Right? I don't think he's going to drop Tavares. I don't know why. I just have a feeling, right?
Really?
He might bring in Tierney late on and then start him against Man United. But he needs... Listen, Newcastle, if you play Lokonga and Partey, right, against Newcastle, probably John Joe Shelby or... what's the other guy? Fuck, I forgot his name. You might struggle physically. Because
what against John Joe Shelby?
Yeah, listen, John Joe Shelby may not have he may not have any attackers or he may not be skillful, but he's a physical player.
He's an underrated midfielder. He's not a bad midfielder, John Joe Shelby.
He will put it about. Yeah, long stuff. There we go.
Long stuff
and that, right? Yeah. Richie, long stuff. So, and especially with what happened against Lokonga, because I just felt that he lost his head a little bit because he kept making mistake after mistake, and in the position that he plays in, you can't lose the ball that much and give it away.
I will probably agree with you on that. Lokonga maybe. Do you know what I did like about Lokonga? He had a bad game. I think it was against Palace, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then he said, "Listen, I'm really sorry. I had a bad game. Let me back." And he came back and he played really well, right? But again, he's a young guy. He's learning.
Yeah,
he's again against one of the top teams in the world. Again, they press ridiculously fast and hard, and he got caught on the ball a few times, making the wrong decisions. So
but listen, look, Eddie Howe would have watched Arsenal game against Liverpool, right? And if you go in with Lokonga and Thomas Partey, he would tell these guys, listen, they're going to struggle physically because Thomas Partey is not going to be able to handle everything on his own. So pressure Lokonga, and he will make mistakes. He will give the ball away, right? And I
think Maitland-Niles has got more about him physically.
Yeah, Maitland-Niles has got more about him. I think he will come in. apart from that, I wouldn't change anything. The only thing.
What about Aubameyang? What about Aubameyang? Would
He's
you
not
drop
going to drop
Aubameyang?
He's not going to drop Aubameyang.
Why not?
I just don't see him dropping Aubameyang. You know,
Me either.
if he was going to do it, he would have done it by now. But I don't know. Maybe I'll bring in Pepe instead of Saka. I'll give Saka a rest. Maybe.
Yeah, Saka hasn't been great the last few games.
Yeah, maybe he needs a bit of rest. Remember, Saka is 20 as well.
He hasn't really been great for Arsenal this season, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but
he plays better for England.
Maybe you give him a rest to get a little bit more out of him against Man United, maybe, right? And bring in Pepe, because I think Arsenal should. I don't think we should go and, start playing it about and see what Newcastle is about. I think we should go and boom, from the get-go, put it on Newcastle. Start fast. Fast. Maybe 5-10 minutes. If you get a goal, it's game over. They're not going to have the confidence to come back on. And I think
agree.
Nicolas Pepe will be good for that, because he can dribble. He's quick, and I just think Saka can do the rest. I might even go as far as saying, if you're going to play Emile Smith-Rowe on the left-hand side, it's better that you don't play him and you play Martinelli on the left-hand side, because I think Emile Smith-Rowe should be used in the middle. And I don't think he's going to drop Lacazette and play Emile Smith-Rowe there.
I don't think he'll drop Emile Smith-Rowe.
Smith-Rowe is undroppable, in my opinion. He's been the best player this season.
If you're going to play him on the left-hand side, you might as well drop him, because
if you're going to drop anyone, drop Saka. I agree with you, because I don't think we've seen the best of Saka in the last few weeks. I think maybe he needs a break. Maybe he needs... I don't know what it is he's needing right now, but I think we're expecting too much from these lads up top, these young guys. That's my problem, and this is why I keep asking about the midfield situation, because we are not helping these young lads build their confidence and get enough of the ball to be able to put enough influence in the game. So I don't think they're going to drop Emile Smith-Rowe. Maybe Saka for Pepe. I could agree with that.
He always has an option of playing Odegaard next to Partey as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true, but the problem with that is that Partey is going to have to anchor everything by himself.
Again, and then we'll sit here and go, oh, we're not getting... I thought Partey was going to be much better than that, and he's not. And this is the problem. I think we were expecting too much from him. We've got him in there, but then he's got youngsters all around him. And then you want to put someone like Odegaard, who maybe he'd get away with it in La Liga, but you can't get away with it in the Premier League. It's a very physical, that midfield. And getting up and down and tackling and winning the ball, then having the energy to then try and pick a pass and create. I just don't see Odegaard as that player. And this keeps coming back, and it's annoying me now. Why did we buy Odegaard? What is he? Did we buy him as a 10? Did we buy him as an 8? Because to me, he's neither of those, really. I don't know what he is.
I think they got sold hype, and they bought him because there's this hype around this player. He's a captain of Norway and this and that. I don't know. But, having Odegaard as a number 8 in the team would just make you a very, very attacking team, because you've got Partey, Odegaard in the middle, and then you've got, for argument's sake, let's say Emile Smith-Rowe on the left, Lacazette in the middle, Pepe on the right, and you got Aubameyang playing up front. Another thing for me is I don't know what Martinelli needs to do to get games. And if he's not getting any games, or if he's not getting anything, then we need to be told why.
Hold on. Why is he not out on loan? Why is it he thought Saliba needed games, but didn't think Martinelli needed games?
Like, for example, listen, Balogun came in, right, against Brentford when he started, right? And he was subbed off, rightly so, about 50th minute, because he didn't really do much. He struggled. I think he struggled physically a little bit. His movement wasn't that great. And you could see why Arteta is not starting him off, right? But every time Martinelli has come on, right, he's brought pace, he's brought energy, he's chasing things. He reminds me of a little bit of Sanchez, the way he chases things down, right? But he doesn't get games.
Well,
Don't
someone
know
else
why.
has made a very interesting point in here as well, which I was going to mention. Pepe playing down the middle. I've seen him play down the middle for Lille a few times. Could he do a job there?
I mean, that's something we have been told that it's going to be tried, but they actually never tried that against Villarreal. They put Smith Rowe at false nine I think it should have been Pepe, because I think Pepe, he's one of the best finishers in the club.
Probably.
Put him in front of the keeper and he's going to score, in my opinion. But like, he never gets to those positions. So if you put him as a 9, he could be a hit.
Maybe it's something that I don't think they will try this, but maybe during AFCON they can try this with Aubameyang gone. But
Pepe's gone as well.
Yeah.
Right.
He's gone.
But Edu is right. You know, when he's trying to play a false 9 and he plays fucking Willian or Emil Smith Rowe, he tells you that it's not really something that he looks at Pepe as a forward player. But I think it might be good for him to play up front, because you're taking that defensive side of things away from him, the responsibility, which he could
beat a man. He could create goals from nothing.
Yeah, he can. He's got a very, very nice left foot and a shot on him. He can dribble. He's quick.
He make space for a shot quickly.
Yeah, and you know, maybe a better manager would try something like this. But by playing him up front, listen, one thing that Pepe gets criticized for is defensive side of things, not coming back, not helping out. By playing him up front, you're taking that away from him, and he's just going to be free to play. And you know, when for example, against Liverpool, right? When I told you Aubameyang was doing nothing up front, right? And if I was Van Dijk or Matip, I would not really worry about Aubameyang. But if Pepe was playing up front, I would, because he's skillful.
Yeah,
he's quick.
If he got older, the ball was meant to be. He could do it, couldn't he? He could do it.
Pepe is one of those players that will. He's got the potential and ability to create something out of nothing.
And he's got pace. He can run in behind. So it's not a bad shout during AFCON to look at Pepe.
He's going to be gone on AFCON.
Yeah, I know.
Unless Côte d'Ivoire don't call him because he hasn't been playing for them.
No, come on, him and Zaha are the two best players.
You would be surprised. Max Gradel starting over Pepe for Ivory Coast.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you could always. Says a lot when you spent 75 million on a player who can't even get into the Ivory Coast first 11. It's starting to look more and more like a bad deal.
You're talking about Nicolas Pepe. I want to ask you something, right? How much do you think is an acceptable amount of money for Nicolas Pepe to be sold at for?
Because someone said 25 million, didn't they, Shaheen? Who was that?
I agree with that.
I think that was taken.
That was Tom.
People in the comments as well, if you let us know what you think. How much is an acceptable amount?
Would you take what? Edu, you take a 50 million loss now. You take a 50 million loss now.
Absolutely.
So you write off 45 million pounds.
He's gone for you now. He's not good enough.
Absolutely. No? I mean, look at Ismail Assar. He costed 21 million pounds and he's better than Pepe. I mean, what you can do with those 25 million to buy a better winger.
Yeah, but
look,
Leeds
got.
We know we got shafted for Edu. We know this. If not for Edu, for Pepe.
Hard.
We know this. We got done.
Hard.
Right? Exactly.
We could have got Zaha for that.
Exactly. But look at this. If you don't accept 25 million now, do you think he's going to get better? I don't think so.
See, this is my next point, because if we don't sell Pepe this summer, right, next summer he's going to have 1 year on his contract.
Exactly.
And potentially, he could walk away for free.
Yes.
And this is something that a lot of people, especially at Arsenal, right, do this. And they would run their contract down and they will leave. So they've got to make a decision on Nicolas Pepe, I think, this summer. And I don't think, from a business point of view, right, I hear what you're saying, Edu, but from a business point of view, it makes very little sense to write off 45 million pounds on a player.
Yeah, but does it make any sense to keep
a player on his own?
Does it make sense to keep a player that's not doing it?
No, I hear that. But the other side of the coin is who's actually going to come in and pay 50, 60 million pounds for Pepe?
No one. That's out of the question. I mean, for me, you either accept taking a 45 million loss or you lose 72 million. And I'd much rather accept the 45 million loss right now.
The problem is everyone knows we've been shafted and everyone can see his performances, even if he has got the potential. And let's be honest, he's a ridiculously talented player, but he's just not doing it in a team and he's not doing it in the Premier League. So everyone else knows this. That even if team is interested, they'll know that they could haggle us and negotiate us, and they might end up getting him, and he might end up performing in La Liga or the Italian league, and he turns out to be a bargain. But in our situation, everyone knows he's not playing. He's struggling to get into the international team, according to Edu as well. And on top of that, all the fans are on his back. We know he's struggling. Who in their right mind is going to pay 25 million even? I'm asking that question. They're going to negotiate you.
Well, people say Newcastle, I think. But
Newcastle could. I think Napoli would be tempted to buy for 25 million because they wanted him before.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't expect much more. And as Arsenal, I think we need to take the loss and go buy somebody else who's better. Because that's not going to be hard. For 25 million pounds, you can find a very talented winger out there. Look, the same year that we got Pepe, no, last year, Leeds went and got Rafinha for 24, 25 million pounds.
What a player he is. He's ridiculous.
And he's a monster. He's incredible.
I would have rather that the guy who went to Watford, Ismail Sarr.
Exactly.
I remember in Europa League, we played against him. And I remember he was ripping up our defense.
Look, Pepe at Lille is a different player from the Pepe that we're seeing at Arsenal. Yeah. Pepe at Arsenal can't even touch the ball properly. It's something that's, for me, it's nerve-wracking. When I see the TV playing, it's like, man, how can you not put the ball in your feet and drive forward? Like
that tells me it's a confidence and mental issue now. It's becoming a confidence and mental issue now, because the one thing we could always say about Pepe when he first came into the team is his touch was brilliant. He had skills. We all could see it. Now, even his touch is off and he second guesses himself. He pauses. He doesn't make the right decisions in the final third. I do think it's a mixture of not playing him correctly.
I'm just trying to think, when was the last time that he actually played for us?
But even when he's played well, when he's got a hat-trick, he got dropped the next game.
No, look, the thing with Pepe is he could have a horrible game, but the talent he possesses, like he could shoot from like 50 miles away and gets a banger, and everybody forgives him for everything else. Yeah. So when he doesn't get a banger, he's utterly useful. It's like Aubameyang in some ways.
Yeah, but I don't think we're using him correctly. I think we've used him incorrectly. I don't think we've played to his strengths, and now it's become a confidence issue. But I don't think it's coming back from it. I don't think Arteta is going to come back from it either.
I've been seeing, before I used to understand that because they said, oh, you're making him hug the line. He's not that type of player. But then you see the likes of Rafinha, the likes of Harvey Barnes, playing, hugging the line. They cut in, they drive through 2, 3, 4 players and get a goal. Why can't Pepe do that? He's a 72 million man.
Well, we obviously haven't scouted the right type of person.
Exactly.
Because look, Edu, this is a question mark that keeps coming up with regards to our own scouting system right now, right? Because if teams like Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, all these teams who have got less funds than us are still going and finding these gems, it makes you question what type of people are out there signing off on players saying he's the type of player we need. Because now looking at Pepe, the way that the Arteta wants to play, he just doesn't fit that system.
Well,
he doesn't.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go on.
The Nicolas Pepe transfer, if you remember, he had a lot of hoo-ha around it, especially afterwards, because I don't think this deal was done purely on football reasons. I think this deal was done, one, to shut the fans' mouth. Because remember, at the time, we were crying out for top player, and everyone was like, let's go get Nicolas Pepe, let's go get Nicolas Pepe. Two, when the deal was done afterwards, like I think it was the following season that we actually realized that £10 million on top of this was paid to third parties to make the deal happen.
And then
this is the reason that Raul Sanelli got sacked from Arsenal.
What, the Pepe deal?
Yeah, because it was a dodgy deal. It was a dodgy deal. A lot of people was eating in the middle. Nicolas Pepe is not, and even at the time, he was not worth 70 million.
Exactly. I totally agree. For me, it was a 45 million tops player.
Yeah,
And
so
listen, I
and
still think there's a player in there. I just don't think we're using him right. But the fact
there
is,
is a player in there, but not for
we've got
70 million
Arteta.
pounds, man.
Yeah,
Fucking Jack.
look.
Listen, Jack Grealish was sold for 90 million pounds. Right? You telling me the difference of quality between Pepe and Grealish is 20 million pounds?
No, but that's English tax on
Look,
top of that. Let's be
and the
honest.
other thing that they're finding out that now the Osimhen deal to Napoli, actually Napoli only paid 36 million euros out of the 80 that were really touted.
Who's deal?
Osimhen to Napoli,
Okay.
another Leo player. So it's actually the Leo that have been doing some extremely dodgy things.
Well,
I just think there's a
guess
lot of-
what? And guess what? We're going back for Renato Sanchez now as well.
No, I don't think Arsenal will go for Sanchez, man.
I think. Do you know what? I think we will.
You want to have another bet on this?
I think if we're going to get a midfielder, it's going to be Renato Sanchez. Do you
Listen,
want to put a bet on?
that would be
you wanna put a bet on
really,
it?
really stupid to go and get him because you need a player to come in and play.
To be
If
available.
you go and get Sanchez, he comes in after 2 games, he gets injured. The fans will they'll be like, listen, did you not see this guy's injury record? Yes, he's a good player.
but who are we
But
going to
he's
get?
injured all
Are
the
we
time.
just going to rely on Maitland-Niles then? Is that what you're saying?
No, you have to.
Abu Dhabi was a very, very good player. I remember us going to Anfield and he bossed that midfield there and he just made Steven Gerrard look silly. But he was injured all the time.
No, he wasn't injured all the time. He had a very bad tackle, a horrific tackle.
Apart from that,
from a
he
guy
was injured
called
most of the time. He did
Dan
recover
Smith
from that.
from Sunderland.
I
Destroyed
remember
his
that.
ankle.
I remember that, right? But after that, he did recover from that, right? But again, he had a lot of muscle injuries, Abu Dhabi.
No, he was never the same after that injury. Never the same.
No, but he had muscle injuries on top of the hamstrings, thigh, this, that. Exactly like Sanchez, man. If we go and get Sanchez, he comes in after 2 games, he's injured. We're back to square one.
Listen,
Yeah.
I just want us to know what we're going to do then, because personally, I personally do not want to go in with Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Lokonga and Xhaka in our central midfield.
I think, for me, I think the most sensible decision would be to go and get Kessie.
Would he come to Arsenal, Edu?
Yes.
Why wouldn't
absolutely.
he? Why wouldn't he? He's on a free. He's going to get a load of money for it. He's going to be living
Exactly.
in London.
But he's going to have a lot of other offers as well, Lev. It's not like he's on a free. And
Yes,
Arsenal,
but with
the only
us,
club going for him.
he's got the best chance
But
of
look,
first team football.
but look,
Walk straight
Why?
in.
When
If
there is
Chelsea's
a play,
going for him as well, who do you think is going to come to Arsenal?
He's going to play. He's going to play for us straight away. He'll get straight into the first team.
But they were telling me he's going to play for Chelsea as well.
nah, but Chelsea are targeting Declan Rice.
No, I'm just saying for argument's sake.
No,
So
exactly.
there is
But
no
look,
argument.
No, there is, man. If
when
a
you
team
wanna play-
with
when
European
you-
football go for him, he's going to go. He's not going to come to Arsenal.
But look,
It's just because we're talking from a fan's point of view. We think, yeah, Arsenal, London, great club, this. But if you look at it from the player's point of view, it will be different unless we offer him stupid amount of money.
exactly, you're going to have to put the money on the table. And that's the thing. If you want to improve, if you want to get the players in, you're going to have to pay. They're not going to come here because Arsenal is beautiful here and there. Not everybody's born an Arsenal fan like us. So you're going to have to put the money on the table.
Job. It's still a job
Exactly.
for these guys.
Exactly. So if somebody offers him £8 million a year, you offer £10 million a year. And that's how you're going to get your player.
Right. So look, we've been going over an hour with this, yeah. So I want two things I'm going to ask, right? Prediction against Newcastle and prediction if we're going to go for anyone in the January transfer window. I don't need a name and what position it's going to be. It could be a yes or no for that, for that position, and then you just let me know what you think of the Newcastle game. I'll start with you, Shaheen.
I'd say 2-0 Arsenal for Newcastle.
Yeah.
For January transfer window, I think we're gonna.
Are we signing someone? Yes or no?
Yes, knowing Arsenal and going based on history, we're probably going to do a loan deal for a midfielder.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I agree with that. A loan deal, maybe. Edu?
3-0 Arsenal.
Woo!
3-0
You guys
Arsenal.
are confident after the last game.
And-
Okay.
Vlahovic.
Fucking hell, Edu, man.
Fucking Edu. Edu, do you not get, wait. Do you not get enough stick?
Clip these videos. You
Do
know
you
that,
not
right?
get enough stick? Do you not get enough stick? Edu, I love you, man. I love you just for that, yeah? That you get the stick and you invite in more.
Exactly.
Right? All right, okay.
You either go big or you go home. That's how I see that.
I love that. So I know
Vlahovic, you think?
there's a
January.
guy in here.
I
there's a
predict
guy in here.
Vlahovic.
In January.
Yeah, now there's a guy in there called the Illuminated One who always comes at you every time you're on. Oh, it's the fraud, it's this, it's that. Wait till he hears this now. All right, so Shahid has said 2-0 Newcastle and a loan signing in midfield. Edu has said 3-0 win against Newcastle and Vlahovic. No midfield, still light in midfield, but Vlahovic is coming, guys, according to Edu. So you heard it here first. We're not saying it's gospel. Please don't start flipping right Illuminated Ones here. Heard it, snake oil, he says. Come on, Illuminated One. What is your problem with the lad? Yeah, he's an aspiring journo, and all journos get some things wrong, and they get some things right. Let's just chill out, bro. So me, I'm going to say 2-0 win Arsenal against Newcastle. I expect some changes after the last game. However, someone coming in, the more I talk about it, the more doubtful I'm getting. And I'll tell you why. I thought we would be doing some business, but I doubt the level of quality we'll get for a striker in the January window, unless our man Edu is, he's hit the nail on the head. We go hard and go big or go home, otherwise known as going for Vlahovic, and throw enough money for him to say, oh, do you know what? Forget Champions League now, but maybe with Vlahovic in the team, you got more chance of getting Champions League. So let's hope. However, my prediction is Jack Wilshere is coming back. Jack Wilshere is coming back on loan for 2 months, 3 months, just to cover us. That's my prediction. I'm being cynical, I know, but having watched that if there's going to be the most Arsenal thing to do, that would be it. So I'm going with the most Arsenal thing to do. Watch this space. You've heard it on here. You've heard two things here first on the Arsenal Lounge. Either Vlahovic is coming to Arsenal, or Jack Wilshere is making a return, a cheap, low budget loan return to cover that midfield.
There's a possibility for both of these to happen.
There is, and if that does happen, again, you've heard it here first on the Arsenal Lounge. If not, we are getting slaughtered in the comments. So, guys, listen, we've been going for well over an hour. Edu's been great having you back. We're going to do more of these, yeah, with the transfer window coming up. We're going to start ramping things up. We need your knowledge on players around the globe. So make sure you start, looking into that for us. Guys in the chat, it's been emotional. There's loads of different conversations going in, and Maximus stirring up the pot, and people coming up with loads of different opinions. So that's been great too. So keep them coming.
Yeah, well, Maximus, hold on, Lev. Maximus,
yeah.
I know you come on the channel and we speak, but bro, and I spoke to Edu privately about this as well. He was never selling merchandise online, man. He just put a link on a different website.
Was that Maximus that accused him of that, though? I don't think it was it?
No, it wasn't. He started somewhere else. But he just put a comment here. Edu's prediction was fake as a merch he was selling online. So he was never selling merchandise online, man.
Maximus, what is...
Edu, do you want to address this, or you don't want to talk about it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
yeah, go on, bro.
I've never sold merchandise because I don't have the means or the time to do so. I mean, somebody contacted me if I could help him promote his store, and then everything happened and people were saying they were fake. I never got one, so I can't really say from my personal experience if they were fake or not. But that's the thing. Why would I cheat on people and get money from ways that are not really honest? So, I mean, that's everything that I can say about the thing. And if you want to baffle me or like bash me for that, it's okay. I mean, I have to accept my responsibility for not knowing what the other person was doing, but that was...
You've done a very harsh lesson.
As they say in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
You have to accept your mistakes.
You have to. That's it, Maximus. That's it. That's what I like to see. Do you know what I mean? Let's not accuse.
Yeah, I told you, Maximus is all right, man.
No. Do you know what? Maximus, he's a passionate dude, and sometimes he says a few things, but like he's all right. He's a proper gooner at the end of the day. So
no, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. I understand every opinion, and I'm not going to feel mad or it's not going to hurt me because it was partly my mistake.
All right, that's
It's
fine.
very good. I'm very happy that.
So can I get a refund, Edu? Because like I got about 5 of them sitting. I'm joking, bro. I don't have any.
It's okay.
Listen. Yes, Seb, we will get your article out, and thank you for another article. We have not forgotten you, bro. Your article will be published after this show. So when's the next show, Shaheen? Match reaction after Newcastle?
Yeah, we're doing match reaction.
Yeah. Man, we got like nearly 8,000 views on the last one. It was quite epic. So I'm sure we'd like to carry that on, no?
There's only one reason I do it. If Maximus and Mohammed, they promise to come and have another debate.
That's one of my favorite watches. Maximus versus Mo. We should do that one day. We should just put them on for 20-25 minutes and let them go at it. Maximus versus Mo. It is proper gladiator shit, man. So anything you lot want to leave with? Anything you want to say at the end of the show, Edu?
I mean, I just gotta say thank you for having me back. I just gotta say thank you for the people for being involved, and I look forward to seeing you soon. I mean, it could not be here from Chile, but it could be from Miami, and I'm always going to be here for you.
This lad, you know what? No wonder people are talking about him selling fake merchandise. He's traveling all over the world. Everyone's wondering where he's getting his money from.
I need to go see my family for Christmas. So,
mate, where's the invite? Where's the invite? And Shaheen, anything you want to add before we go?
Just hit the like button, people. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you comment on the video, and that's it. We'll see you Saturday after the game.
Yeah, Saturday after the game. Guys, meet us after the game on here. Look out for notifications. We'll be discussing the Newcastle game. I know you guys like to get heated with us, and we like having you. So the more the merrier. We'll drop the link. We'll see you soon. This has been the Arsenal Lounge. This is Edu. He's back for transfer specials. He's going to be doing his research. Do not knock him. He's only trying to help. This is us. Peace out.